Welcome to Chapter 6, the Proteins and Amino Acids.
Protein Digestion and Absorption by Professor Tammy. Learning Objectives. Describe the nature of proteins and amino acids. Outline the processes of protein digestion and absorption of amino acids. Identify the roles of proteins and amino acids in the body. The variety of proteins. Protein shapes enable performance of different tasks. Protein strands can be alone or in association. Inherited amino acid sequences. Alterations to sequence like sickle cell disease. This can be like a gene expression. Nutrients and gene expressions are very interesting too. So let's look at the right. What a difference between one amino acid can make for a sickle cell blood cell and a normal blood cell. What happens is the amino acid sequence of a normal hemoglobin, this amino acid changed to this. So just by one amino acid being changed, it changes the shape of the red blood cell. And when it's shaped like a sickle, like this, a lot of times those with sickle cell disease, they have anemia. So even though they may consume enough hemoglobin, iron-based foods, they still have low hemoglobin. Denaturation of proteins. Denaturation is the process when a protein uncoils or loses its shape. Proteins are susceptible to heat and acid. An example of this process in the body is during digestion when proteins are exposed to hydrochloric acid, which is HCl. Hydrochloric acid is present in the stomach. Examples of denaturation includes cooking an egg and the curdling of milk. So, when something is denatured, it can't go back. Just think of your eggs, your meat, those things that you cook. Denaturing agents, like your digestion, there's stomach acids, so that's acid. Cooking, there's heat. And salts of heavy metal also denature proteins. So when you think of your mouth and then your stomach, the stomach has hydrochloric acid, which denatures protein. And some of these enzymes attack peptide bonds. Small intestine has a bunch of enzymes too. And it goes to the further breakdown and the hydrolysis reaction. That's when you add water to something. Protein synthesis. You can read over how the DNA serves as a template to make strands of messenger RNA and how transfer RNA works too in the system, and how they create complete protein strands. Protein digestion in the GI tract, you can review this too. How protein and food becomes amino acids in the body. So 1. Stomach. When swallowed food arrives in the stomach, hydrochloric acid denatures the protein strands and an enzyme cleaves amino acid strands into polypeptides and a few amino acids. And then in the small intestine, enzymes from the pancreas and the intestine split peptide strands into tripeptides, dipeptides, and amino acids. And then enzymes on the surface of the small intestine lining and within the absorptive cells split tripeptides and dipeptides. The intestinal cells absorb and transfer amino acids to the bloodstream. So you should look at the pictures too. First step, second step. Ender step. Amino acid absorption. They are absorbed by cells of the small intestine, separate sites for absorption, and released into the bloodstream and carried to the liver. Enzyme action. So when you look at these enzymes, these are the compounds. You have to see if they fit. So here's an example. The separate compounds A and B are attracted to the enzyme's active site, making a reaction likely. Note that the compounds C and D are not a good fit for the enzyme's active site and would not trigger the reaction. Look, does C fit? Does D fit? No. Then the enzyme forms a complex with A and B. The enzyme is unchanged, so it still looks the same, and A and B have formed a new compound. It's called AB. During absorption, amino acids are transported by specific carriers to intestinal cells. Amino acids unused by these cells are transported to the liver. Once absorbed into the intestinal cells, amino acids can be used for energy or to create compounds. Whole proteins are handled better than pre-digested amino acids because the body dismantles and absorbs them at an optimal rate for the body. Proteins transport substances into and out of cells. The molecule enters protein. So it's entering. This is the transport protein. Protein exchanges shape molecules, exit protein outside the cell. So this is outside the cell, this is inside. Molecules enter protein from the outside, and molecule exits protein, proper balance restore. So these go back and forth.
See you soon. And remember to read the book.